Hello, friends and strangers, and welcome to Honkai Star Rail version 4.2. And we have a very interesting opening quest for the new story. Last time it ended with the Phantasm Moon telling us whoever wins the Phantasm Moon games is becoming a half forever. Not just for a minute, forever. Well, it's very good that we instantly start with that, because I'm really questioning, like, what is the point of that? Why suddenly? But there's also a lot of other questions that are still left unanswered, like, what happened in the Phantasm Moon games 15 years ago is still a bit questionable. Sure, we know the Herald of Death killed 22 people at Graphia Academy, and then also some other people, and a lot of people got injured, but it's still, with what we read last time about how that kind of... I think I said something about it looked like it was more like an experiment gone wrong, so I'm kind of questioning that, especially with some of the things that we had happen and what was actually told to our Trailblazer about how the supplicants potentially could be influenced by the masses. What people want from them is something that they are going to also potentially be forced to actually do. And there is a readable about that, about a hero who became a supplicant and then sadly had to kill a monster, which, you know, is like a heroic deed, a big spectacle for elation, great, but it turned out that monster was actually just a friend of that hero, mutated and disfigured, but no one else saw that, and so that hero had to sadly obey what was expected of them and had to slay their friend and couldn't save them. And something similar could happen to all the supplicants, that they are forced to do things they don't want to. And I'm kind of questioning, like, could that have happened with the Herald of Death? Mostly because, again, what we read last time, some of that just doesn't feel correct. It's like just murdering, like going on a complete, like, kill streak. That's just... Especially the... What was his name? Marcus Antali, who is the Herald of Death. He was part of a weird evolutionary perfection school. And now that we know that the abundance is involved with this, especially with the happiness surgery, it begs the question if that could be potentially one of the reasons for that this get completely out of control. Because we already know, like, from like the Marastrug or the Borison, things that have the abundance involved are just... They tend to have a factor of aggression to them. Right? And now we saw last time, especially in the Ashvale and Kuchiba perspective, how the people that have undergone the happiness surgery are also pretty prone to violence. So that's a bit weird. Right? There are coincidences that just line up to be like, maybe, potentially, the Herald of Death was partially... There could, again, what I'm saying is, it could be multiple reasons as to why they were forced to do what they did. And that's kind of the whole point. The more this whole story unveils, the more it really is clear that the Phantasm Moon games, they were never safe. They were always a very chaotic, but also very dangerous thing. But it was always fine, or at least okay enough, or within boundaries. Only the last game, the game 15 years ago, was branded as the Bloodstained games. That was the one that was bad. But everything else was fine. So it's like, why exactly was that one so much worse? Right? Why would somebody... Like, again, with some of the other things that you can read, and even, like, the thing that Sparksicle did, like, literally brainwashing an entire school, is like, that's also not good, that's also not okay. But it definitely has a very different flavor of not okay. And that kind of brings... For me personally, it begs the question of, like, is someone potentially trying to change the nature of the Phantasm Moon games? Which is also, like, again, like, how it feels like the Phantom Moon announcing like, hey, you're gonna be Aha. It's like, that's just weird. So that's kind of where my thoughts are. But well, I guess more direct theories and whatnot I'm going to talk about when we actually get into it. Also, another thing that just turned up, which I guess has definitely something to do with the new Silver Wolf, it's just... we got speed buffs. Small items created by a certain mysterious hacker girl after hacking into Planacadia. Breaking them will go ding and temporarily grant a movement speed bonus. And combat buffs. Hacking into... that feels like a spoiler. Why are they here? What? Let's just go on with it and see. Oh yeah, also, Sela got an overlay update. That's why I'm playing her. That's... seems to be actually quite good. But well... March. What are your opinions about the dancing moon in the sky?
Wait, did you hear that? The moon just spoke!
Oh, that's not normal? I just expected that to be a thing that happens from time to time, but no, apparently not.
I'm not hearing things, am I? The Master of Elation is here?
Hurry, make a wish. It might actually come true.
Hang on. This isn't right. Is it? Oh, that winking moon up there in the sky. It just spoke. For real.
Yes, it also twitched a bit and flickered, but yes.
Hey, it wasn't just me, was it? You heard that too, right?
Yeah, everyone around also.
I heard it too. That's why I came straight back for you. The winner of these Phantasmoon games shall inherit all my authority and become the true, permanent Eon of Elation.
Oh yeah. One thing about that I find incredibly interesting is, from what we know, the Eons became Eons because they were already people or creatures, or whatever, beings that already perfectly represented a path, right? They perfectly fit into that. They are a perfect embodiment or impersonation of what the path is actually about. That's like the qualification to be an Eon. So, can you just make someone an Eon without any complications? Is it just a thing that Elation can do? Because Elation, I guess, is just the weird thing that may be able to break some rules here and there? Or could that have direct consequences? And I mean, like... I don't know, like, because you don't fully fit, like, maybe you accidentally create a sub-path to Elation or something that is more fitting to who you are now that you are an Eon, or something like that. Like, I'm just questioning, like, is this just something that will just function without issues? Or will it not function at all, potentially? Is this potentially a ruse for something? There's a lot of questions about this, right? There's a lot of things, the moment you think about it, of like, what could this mean, really, and why? It's just like, there's a lot that could potentially be important to ask. But well.
Which means...
yeah, Aha changed the price.
precisely. Aha has raised the stakes. The final winner will inherit the authority of Elation itself.
So from her reaction, it seems to be a thing that potentially just works out. But then again, how would people know that, right? This has never happened before.
Are you serious? This is so wild. It doesn't even feel real anymore.
Every time a path has vanished or been absorbed, the cosmic turmoil has lasted for dozens of Amber eras. The transfer of an Eon's divine authority. How could that ever amount to a mere wager, lightly traded in a single world's game?
Well, There's a lot of factions involved with this one. The IPC, Yao Guang, and therefore, by extension, somewhat the Xianzhou Alliance. We now know that potentially some people connected to the Abundance are involved, which could mean the Elixir Seekers or the Disciples of Sanctus Medicus. So, yeah, sure, it's one world's game, but it is still a game made by a cosmic god, and there's a lot of people from all over the cosmos converging here, trying to partake in it, so this is not just a mere simple game for just a single world. Why would Aha do something like this? That is the question.
The most logical explanation is that Aha wants to steer this game toward utter insanity. But then, who can possibly fathom the mind of an Eon?
Have the stakes ever been raised like this before? Probably not.
Not every Phantasmoon game's ending has been recorded. Many were lost to time, most likely a consequence of the winners exercising their newfound divine authority. But as far as recorded history goes, this is unprecedented. After all, the chance to be an Eon for just 1 minute is already an irresistible lure for many.
Something about this feels off. Yes, exactly.
Exactly. It's just too weird. Can you really just give up being an Eon? What if this is just a big prank by those masked fools?
That's another good question about this. It's not just about, like, is this even possible, like, what could happen with the person who becomes the Eon, but also it's like, if you are an Eon, you are, again, like, such a specific kind of person to begin with. It's like, can you just stop? I mean, if we look at other Eons, News will never stop calculating, right? News would never make that decision. Just as an example. And I mean, again, Aha is probably one of the weirder Eons, but it still is the question of, like, because they are an Eon, it's like, would they ever make the decision to stop? Again, the moment you think about it, there's just so much with that. It's just like, how? Why? What? So I'm not going to stop every single time now. I'm going to let it go, and the game is going to give us some reasons. But it's still just like, this is very weird.
In the historical records, instances of the Phantasmoon speaking are few and far between, and the likelihood of it being influenced by an external force is exceedingly slim.
But it has happened before. Good to know. What's the point of all this?
Basically, unless what the Phantasmoon said is some cruel joke or a play on words, once the games are over, a new god will be born. One of unknown identity, unknown morality, and unknown purpose.
Okay, from the way she says that, my idea of, like, could this kind of create a new subpath does not seem that ridiculous.
They won't be a guest with a 1-minute pass to the Elation theme park. They will be its new owner.
Or maybe still. I mean, elation is whatever it is to you, right? A lot of different things can elate people. A lot of different things can bring people happiness. Which again is the question of, like, can elation just break the rules? Because it's like, what is elation, right? That is in itself a nigh impossible to answer question.
They may spread good fortune and steer the great wheel of the cosmos toward hope. Or they may be a god of utter malice, mocking all who stand against the destruction, intent on dragging the universe into an abyss of despair.
Or because we wanted to, quote-unquote, ask Aha to be the leader of the Anti-Destruction Alliance, maybe Aha is just giving us a push in that direction because maybe we're supposed to win. Something like that could also be. I mean, it is Aha after all. Yeah, Aha must have overheard my wish.
You wished that if you won the Phantom Moon games, Aha would become the new leader of the Anti-Destruction Alliance. Perhaps Aha heard your idea and decided to pack up and flee in the middle of the night.
Not the direction I would take that idea, but okay.
No way! It's Baseball, Raccoon, March Bunny, and Hime Cat in the flesh! Oh, what are they doing here?
The same as everyone else staring at the moon?
I couldn't even get a ticket to Star Rail Fest, and now I'm seeing them right here on the street.
Whoa. Where did all these people come from?
I mean, the moon just spoke, which only happens like once, who knows how often, so... Now that that moment has passed, people are looking around and seeing celebrities on the street next to them.
Hey, that declaration the Phantom Moon mentioned was about you, right? What are you gonna do? Got any kind of moon landing plans in the works?
We're gonna go to the moon at some point, right? Like, right?
You should just hit it with your bat! Send that thing spinning into a black hole at the edge of the cosmos!
That's a bit extreme.
You smash anyone who stands in your way with that bat!
And here we are.
The way they say it makes you sound like a supervillain.
Yep. What the masses desire and potentially the supplicants have to obey.
Uh-oh. You don't think that fight with the Daybreak Squadron made everyone turn on us, do you?
Not necessarily turn on us, but maybe perceive us in a specific way.
Come on, isn't that basically your trademark? You beat the Daybreak Warriors senseless.
Yep.
Oh! All these big shots from across the cosmos, fighting to the death right in our backyard. It's gonna be epic!
When I said something about, like, someone potentially wants to, like, change the nature of these games, initially what I wanted to say, what I didn't, was that it feels like potentially someone steers it towards, like, gladiatorial combat. And this is exactly what this feels like, right? A crowd cheering for people to literally fight to the death for their entertainment. Elation. What is elation? That is also a type of elation. And again, back to, like, the Herald of Death. Potentially, someone already pushed someone to that idea before. So, this is steering in a very, very bad direction.
Epic. Are you brain dead? One wrong move from them and we're in serious trouble. Just like what happened with the Herald of Death years ago.
Yup.
Sign this for me, future Eon!
Yo! When you become an Eon, can I be your Emanator?
I mean, looking at it is elation. Depending on how much that changes you. Also, maybe on a whim.
We should get away from this mess. Let's head back to the Express and discuss matters there.
I also only just noticed I'm wearing the weird Sparksy shroom thing. Oh, wait. Well, it is what it is. Now we're not changing it.
You're back. Himiko messaged me. She filled me in on the Star Rail Fest and the Phantom Moon's declaration. Things really are changing fast.
Yeah, but I believe our objectives remain the same.
Yeah, that's right. We came here to win. A bigger prize doesn't change that.
No.
Still, the mere fact that the Phantom Moon made a declaration is anything but ordinary.
To prevent the divine authority from falling into the wrong hands, the supplicants may go to any lengths now with their tactics and actions.
absolute escalation, potentially.
After all, in most people's minds, they alone are the ones best suited to wield power. Right or wrong has little to do with it. Such is the nature of human will.
We're all the hero of our own story. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that may be exactly what the Phantom Moon wishes to see. A spectacular, head-on battle of ambitions.
Madame Pearl has sent a communication request to the Astral Express. Accept transmission?
What? Who is saying that? Communication hint. Does the Astral Express have an inbox like that with a robotic voice like that? Is that it?
It hasn't been long since we parted, and here I am disturbing you once more. My sincerest apologies.
Please, there's no need to apologize. Given the urgency of this transmission, Madame Pearl, I assume you wish to discuss the Phantom Moon's recent declaration.
Nothing manipulates people's emotions quite like that moon in the sky. A permanent handover of divine authority. It is unprecedented.
I can't help but wonder whether some malicious presence lurks behind the Phantom Moon. Still, who else but the Elation themselves could wield such control over it?
Now, normally I would say, who knows, maybe there's a mastermind behind everything that we don't know, but considering the fact that we have a new cool Super Silver Wolf, who, if you've seen the trailer, also has like who knows what kind of powers, and she has a little moon pet, and we just read that thing with the new speed up, it's like, there's one person who kind of comes to mind, except for why would she do this? What does she have to gain from that? The only other thing that I can really think about that has malicious intent here potentially is, of course, the weird toothy maw that we saw. That thing is who knows what. I'm still thinking it is very much connected to the Veracity, not just because of Ashvale, but also because of how Trailblazer was pretty much hypnotized, put in a trance, and wanted to walk closer. If you look up the first encounter in Simulated Universe Swarm Disaster that we have with Ouroboros the Veracity, Trailblazer literally just wants to go to them and like literally says, I want to be eaten. It literally like draws you in, so... But still, why would that thing somehow now be affecting the moon?
In any case, the Phantom Moon's speech has made the public realize that the power to create a god is in their hands. Their emotions, and perhaps even their wish power, are swelling to historic levels. The Department of Aberration Defense even detected a surge of agitation and unrest among the Imaginae. When normal people believe power rests in their hands, their decisions tend to grow more radical and reckless. Please, be careful, and make sure to protect yourselves.
Yeah, of course we need protection. If people don't see us as the good thing they want to support, what do you think they're gonna do? If the prospect actually is on the table that we could again become a cosmic god, are you gonna think they're just gonna sit idly by? If whoever wins is determined by like who has the most fans, or however we want to rate that, you know, this could literally end up in a civil war and whatnot. So yeah, we need to protect us, we need to protect everyone around us, we need to make sure that no one just gets dragged into this.
Correct. It would be wise to keep a low profile and stay out of the public eye.
And of course all the other supplicants who now potentially want to take us down. Potentially. I mean, we know who most of these supplicants are, so most of them are not going to want to do that necessarily. But still,
The media and public relations department has been monitoring public sentiment. At present, speculation and criticism regarding the Astral Express are surging.
I've seen it online myself. Following the fight with the Daybreak Warriors, there's been no shortage of hostile commentary aimed at her.
Well,
a commentary program on TV has been claiming the Express's adventures are nothing but stories fabricated by the IPC.
I mean, they are not the complete correct stories here and there, right? People don't fully know the exact things that happened, but still.
Many believe the Astral Express is oppressing the local heroes, and some are even speculating that she is the new Herald of Death.
Well, I mean, we just saw people who asked for literal, like, hit things with a bat. That's the sort of thing you do. So, we are seen in some violent light. So that's not the most ridiculous, like, idea that can come to mind.
What the? What's wrong with these people?
Again, they don't necessarily know everything, and everyone has their own feelings and emotions, and when they take hold of you, you may be willing to do some things that are a bit radical. Especially when you then see, like, potentially things that you like the Daybreak Warriors. Like, if you were a fan of them and suddenly some who knows where from the cosmos comes in and beats them up, it's like, are you gonna be happy about that? Like, it's very understandable.
These narratives are undoubtedly being amplified by media platforms steered by Fulwish.
And then we have that person.
I've received a report from the Security Bureau. They tell me that many fans of the Daybreak Squadron have been stirred up and are threatening retaliation against the Express. I'll reinforce security in case agitators attempt to storm the station.
Should we maybe move the Express away? Probably not. Right, because that means we are actually admitting that something is wrong. You can control public opinion, can't you? Yeah, but probably not in a good way.
I can, but you overestimate what control really means. In the arena of public opinion, those who look strong are often the ones at a disadvantage. And besides,
you'll be distancing yourself from us for a while. Isn't that right?
That is accurate. We intend to scale back our public association for the time being. If it's confirmed that the Express is colluding with the IPC, its public image would only deteriorate further.
Why don't we disclose what really happened in that fight? I can think of multiple reasons, but the biggest one is probably more public unrest.
Regrettably, I cannot agree to this. Clarifying the facts amid a frenzy of public sentiment is like trying to quell boiling water by stirring it. It only fuels the flames.
Yup.
The happiness surgery causes recipients to undergo an abundance transformation. Disclosing such sensational information would probably be taken as a hoax, or trigger public panic. I will instruct the Department of Aberration Defense to verify the true mechanism behind the happiness surgery as soon as possible, and assess its potential impact.
From what we know, they put something under your eyelids. We need to know what that something is. I mean, from just saying that and what it does to these people, it feels like it's some kind of brain parasite.
I strongly advise you to exercise restraint in front of the media. Even the smallest statement can be selectively edited and misrepresented.
Which already happened at Star Rail Fest, did it not? Was Was that a main story thing, or was it some side quest where someone interviews us and takes everything we say and edits it in the wrong order and stuff? No, I think that was the main quest. Was it? I think that is... I think that was in the main story. But yeah, this is all Fulwish is doing.
That much is certain. Still, given the current volatility of public sentiment, please exercise caution and self-control.
We don't have any believable, obvious, like, evidence that we can just give to the public. She hasn't done anything really herself, right? The Daybreak Squadron are the people who killed Scott, which is still something I find hard to believe that he actually is just dead. I mean, he's not a main character, but he is a recurring comic relief character. It's just like, would you actually kill off someone like that? That feels weird. But still, it is something that has happened, and again, it was the Daybreak Squadron. 3 of the 4, to be more precise. And it's like, well, we know that Fulwish kind of ordered them to do that, but like, can you prove that? And the same goes with a lot of other things. Like, we have nothing official.
I sincerely hope that the Phantom Moon's declaration will not disrupt the goodwill between us. A greater danger still stands before us. After listening to the declaration, who knows what extremes Fulwish might be driven to. Affairs demand my attention, so I must excuse myself. Should there be further developments, I will keep you apprised.
What do you make of the current situation?
Not the greatest.
We need to take action and put a stop to Fulwish before things get even worse. Even if I'd never joined the Phantom Moon Games, I'd still make this decision.
For Scott, yeah. That feels weird, but somewhat... He's also kind of accurate. Again, he wasn't like a friend or something, but he's still... Like, he doesn't deserve to just be killed.
Whatever her excuse is, killing others as if it's just a game is beyond forgiveness.
That is a sentiment I will absolutely support.
Agreed. Given the likelihood of Fulwish acting unpredictably, we should confront her with everything we have. That reminds me, I've been wondering... The happiness surgery taps into the power of abundance, yet Fulwish seems perfectly normal. Just... how did she get her hands on something so dangerous?
Perfectly normal? I mean, from what we know, right? The woman was traumatized because she was the only survivor of the Herald of Death incident at Graphia Academy. There is a medical record, which I also am not entirely sure if I read that in the story or not. But there is a medical record in the tavern about her, where it's about like how she has hallucinations and she can detect the emotions of others, and there's something not really wrong with her, like she seems to be fine, but there seems to be something little like imagenesis things in her that don't seem to actually do anything, and maybe it's all just like whatever. But she then goes through the happiness surgery, right? Because she cannot take it anymore, because she doesn't want to feel pain anymore. And from that kind of thing, like, I wouldn't say she is normal, because, again, she sent the Daybreak Squadron to recreate the Herald of Death's, like, signature killing with, like, the handprints and all. Like, if you are still traumatized by that, trauma doesn't just go away with that. You can maybe move on, you can maybe, like, get back into your life, but it's still something that is there. That is still you're never gonna just get rid of it. You can learn to live with it. But it doesn't just vanish. Just literally when you are someone who was in that position that you didn't know any way out, and there's nothing you could do, and you were willing to go through this happiness surgery, literally like turning off your emotions other than happiness. The desperation she must have felt at that moment. She should understand how people would potentially see it when the Herald of Death comes back. And yet, she doesn't give a damn. From what I've seen so far, it feels more like she's just using that to rile up other people, to like push them in specific directions. Right? And this is a thing that just was necessary. Right? The people who have undergone the happiness surgery, again, we saw that last time, how willing they are to go to violent means just to quote unquote like fight the people who would oppress their happiness. Calling her perfectly normal, I would say like physically, I guess, but mentally, I wouldn't even call that human anymore. Like, she is, and most other people who have undergone the surgery, like, they are too far gone. They are, I don't think these people could be called normal anymore. They are, like, literally mentally ill at this point. So, it's a bit... Other than that, though, also, how did she get her hands on something so dangerous? That is the question, right? We just know it has something to do with the abundance, but where did that come from? And looking back at Marcus Antali from, again, the weird group of evolutionary perfection, doesn't abundance and some of the abominations of abundance somewhat sound like that? Right? Like, Weld especially talked about the abundant Evendir. Why is there a telephone? Ah, the magic of phone calls. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. In the Xianzhou storyline, Weld talks a little bit about, like, the abundant Ebendir, how it, like, as we couldn't kill it, as it just was reviving and whatnot. After that, he talks about how he has heard stories and whatnot, but actually seeing it in person, and what a being like that could actually do, and how it could potentially destroy an ecosystem. Because it is just a literal, like, nigh immortal thing. It kind of feels like evolutionary perfection could go in a similar direction. Does it not? Again, and Marcus Antali is the person who was the Herald of Death, so a failed experiment became potentially back then, but maybe nowadays, maybe this time, we could get to something that actually works. And maybe that's kind of what Fulwish is. She might be another experiment from whoever actually pushed this initially. So yeah, someone who, when she was in her very, very, very traumatic phase where she didn't know what to do, like someone just gave her this option, and I mean, what did she have to lose? That's how I see it, potentially. Maybe that's not what happened, but that's kind of where my mind goes. And then, of course, we have to kind of figure out who exactly was that, who was responsible for that.
Perhaps it's the lingering poison left behind by the previous Herald of Death.
If you mean that literally, explain. If you mean that more as like a interpretive philosophical thing, that could mean literally like 50 different things.
15 years ago, the monster who turned living flesh into his artwork would, in the heat of combat, slip into bouts of frenzied elation and delirium. The murderous mark he left behind, the bloody bloom, was no mere delusion. According to his interrogation transcripts, He claimed to witness a brilliant golden tree, promising him everlasting life.
Yeah, we already know that there is the Phantasmoon Courtyard Sacred Tree.
I cannot say whether the vision this madman claimed to see corresponds to something real, but the possibility cannot be ruled out. He claimed that in his hallucinations, the golden tree's branches coiled around him, drowning him in frenzy and pleasure. He wanted its blossoms to bloom before all, and to bring about that miracle, he was willing to slaughter without restraint.
That is a very... You know what this reminds me? I talked about this last time, how the weird Cthulhu mask is wooden. What if those not are like... I call it Cthulhu mask because it has like tentacles, but what if those are not tentacles? What if those are branches and roots?
In hindsight, it's clear that the Herald of Death was a supplicant who bore the power of abundance. The tragedy he orchestrated in Plain Arcadia ultimately forged another version of himself. Fulwish.
Yeah? But again, was that a planned thing or is this just coincidence?
Right now, in Plain Arcadia, how many have undergone the happiness surgery and turned into potential abominations of abundance? It's a terrifying thought. Fulwish, what has happened to you over the years? Hiding behind these innocent people. What are you really trying to accomplish? I need more information about this junior of mine. I plan to head to Graphia Academy. Care to join me?
Absolutely.
If we're to investigate Fulwish, we need to examine the traces left behind from the Herald of Death incident that took place during the last Phantasmoon Games. The recollections of teachers and the student records sealed away by the school. We're bound to find a vital clue there.
Let's find out everything about Fulwish. At least, hopefully.
If you're set, let's get moving.
Well, after that so-called dream campus experience, we've ended up back at Graphia Academy. It's almost like revisiting the place after graduation.
I mean, I suppose you could call this your alma mater.
Wait a minute. This nostalgia isn't an after effect of the Sparksy virus, right?
Who can say?
Don't worry, March. The Department of Aberration Defense conducted a comprehensive disinfection of the campus.
That's a relief. The last thing I need is to be mid-investigation and suddenly morph into some hopping, dancing mushroom rabbit.
But you are March Bunny, wouldn't that kind of fit? Also, wouldn't that be something that Staria would do?
Speaking of which, where should we begin our investigation into Fulwish?
I mean, the Dean first is probably the best way to, like... I mean, then we would also, like, probably have... Maybe if we are allowed to, like, have an actual official person allowing us to snoop around and stuff.
Should we go and find Mr. Ryusuke first?
It's only appropriate that we obtain permission from the Dean before proceeding with the investigation. 15 years have passed, but there should be a backup of the student files, work logs, or visitor records, and only he knows where they're stored. Let's go then, to the Dean's office.
Say yes?
To the Dean's office. I mean, we could also probably just... Oh no, it's here? Wait. I'm in the wrong map in my head. Everything's fine.
Himeko! There you are at last. The news said you got into a huge fight with those, what are they called? Warriors at the Floating Isle exhibition. And then you disappeared. Now, let me see. You're not hurt anywhere, are you? I sent you a dozen messages, and you didn't reply to a single one. Do you have any idea how worried I was?
Well. So much to the great reunion of child and parent, and now parent overprotective.
But seeing that you've come to tell me you're safe in person, I'll let this slide.
That's not why we're here.
If you're really so preoccupied, a message or a call would do, you know. Ah, it's you two. I saw you on the news as well. Valiantly fought, huh? These Megatron warriors don't know who they're messing with. To think they dare challenge my daughter's subordinates.
I mean... Sure.
Well, now it feels like we're the underlings of Warlord Himeko or something.
Are we not?
In any case, I'll leave Himeko in your hands. Please try to keep her out of combat.
Of course, Grandfather feels no.
Stop, stop! Every time you and she get together, the conversation somehow drifts completely off course. I'm fine. I'm good. Your daughter's no porcelain doll. We came here to...
I know. I understand. You didn't come as my daughter. Rather, I am currently speaking to the navigator of the Astral Express. But tell me, has there been progress on the new Herald of Death case? I wasn't expecting the questioning to come in rounds.
Well, that's why we're here.
In rounds?
The Department of Aberration Defense also sent someone here before you. They inquired about Fulwish.
Okay. Was that someone we know?
But regrettably, I truly don't know how to answer. On one hand, I wasn't here 15 years ago. On the other, she is still considered one of our school's distinguished alumni. I'm aware that you're involved in the investigation too. So, I compiled the pertinent documents ahead of time. I hope they'll be of use to you.
Thank you, Mr. Ryusuke.
Go ahead. The files are inside the archive room. Take whatever materials you need.
Alright, about Fulwish.
To be honest, it wasn't until the Herald of Death incident 15 years ago that I first learned her name.
I mean, that's valid, I guess.
As the Dean, I should have met up with her more often and tried harder to soothe the wounds it left on her. But I just couldn't.
Why? I mean, Himeko was involved as well?
Do you really need all the details? The whole serving as a model example thing. I don't want to tarnish it completely. I knew it was a selfish thought. But I just couldn't help it. Back then, whenever I heard her name, I thought to myself, if someone was able to survive the incident, then why couldn't it have been my daughter?
That is... I mean, that is an understandable thought, right? Call it selfish or whatever, but when big catastrophes happen, and the people you care about are the ones that get hurt or even die, you don't care who else survived it. You're just, like, literally drowning in grief at that point. And especially when other people are so happy that someone else survived it. It probably feels very unfair, right? Why is it that person that you do not care about that survived and not the person you actually care about? It's a very difficult thing to deal with. So, again, I can completely understand as to like why he may not really wanted to engage with Fulwish that much, because it probably tore open the wound again and again. 15 years ago, you...
15 years ago, I received a commission to paint a massive portrait for an elixir seeker chief on the planet of Goliath Shepherd. They said he had an elixir that could cure countless diseases.
That's a bit too much of a coincidence, right? Elixir seeker, abundance, right? That's a bit too much of a coincidence.
By the time I came back, everything had changed. There had been a terrible accident on campus, and my daughter... Even though I knew my presence here wouldn't have changed anything. Because of that incident, I made a promise to never leave this world again during the Phantom Moon Games. That's why I immediately flew here when I heard about the full Phantom Moon. But once again, I was too late. And the supplicant called Sparksy had turned the canvas upside down.
It's all right. You can leave the crisis solving to the Nameless.
You're right about that. Yet oddly, once Sparksy stirred up all that chaos, applications to the school soared to an all-time high. The times we live in are increasingly beyond my comprehension.
I mean, that's still good, though. We won't take up any more of your time.
You're always welcome. Other than the archive room, you could also try talking to Miss Dolly. She's the longest-serving faculty member here and likely knows the most.
Then we'll try the archive room. Let's go, you two. Thank you, Dad.
No.
We should be able to find the archive room and Miss Dolly around... in the Genesis classroom, right?
Okay, she doesn't move again, but... especially with a smile. This would not be... oh my god, she turns... Who immediately thinks that you could make a horror movie out of that?
I heard from... Oh my goodness, I thought I recognized you in the distance. Himiko, it really is you!
Miss Dolly, please forgive me for not coming to see you sooner. I've been back for a while now, but this is the first chance I've had to come see you.
Don't worry about it. I'm simply happy that you cared enough to visit. I must apologize about the mask you entrusted me. In the end...
Please, I can't thank you enough for safeguarding the mask all those years.
Look at you. You haven't changed a bit. Oh, you and your friends look like you're in a hurry. Is there something you need to attend to?
Yeah, we're here to ask about Fulwish.
Fulwish? The poor child who survived the Herald of Death. The school organized a fundraiser for her back then. I still remember how she bowed again and again with tears in her eyes at everyone who helped. Poor girl. Though she was lucky to have survived, her parents didn't make it. There were rumors flying around the school saying she had something to do with the Herald of Death. Otherwise, why would she be so lucky? She's the only one who survived. What a bunch of scoundrels.
I mean, I wouldn't rule out the possibility.
She had good grades and a good heart, and becoming famous, she often came back to visit the school and sponsored a number of scholarship projects.
Speaking of which, do you know anything about what happened to her after she graduated from school?
I heard she went somewhere beyond the sky to further her studies after graduation. She had the chance to work for the Interastral Peace Corporation, but chose to return home and take over Seafell TV instead, which was on the verge of bankruptcy.
Somewhere beyond the sky. Miss Dolly, do you know where she went exactly?
I never heard. However, she pushed out many projects after taking over the TV station and managed to expand their business to the whole of Plain Arcadia in just a few years. That is all I know.
Thank you, Ms. Dolly, for your intel.
From the math teacher that the gym teacher is sick again.
Well, what do you have to say?
The new Herald of Death is real! They say he came back to life and was responsible for what happened in Dovebrook. He's not coming here to kill again. Is he? Maybe we should ask for leave and stay home until this blows over?
I mean, considering that the entire school was already completely brainwashed by a mimetic virus, that should just be a normal thing anyway, I think, during the Phantasmoon games. Then again, are you safe at home?
What are you, scared? If he really comes, I'm live streaming the whole thing and getting all the clout for it. Who needs leave after that? I'll just quit school altogether.
And probably also quit life in the process. I will never understand people who would be willing to risk their life for clout. Like, are you okay? Legitimate question. Like, are you okay? Do you need help? What do you know about the Herald of Death?
I heard he murdered hundreds of students here 15 years ago.
Not entirely wrong. Not entirely accurate.
Hundreds? Really? I only heard that the crime scene still exists somewhere on campus.
I mean, if you mean that the classroom still is there, then yes. Everything else is cleared up.
I don't feel too good about this. We should get out of here.
If we help the Express Gang, there's a chance we might get featured in The Fluffy.
You are seriously obsessed with becoming famous.
Welp.
The atmosphere in this archive room is giving me the creeps. It's so gloomy. Almost like we've stumbled into Fixtroll Garden.
It's worse. It's paperwork. Also, didn't Ryosuke say that they are, like, that he has already, like, compiled everything? Do we still have to, like, search where he put it?
It was like this 15 years ago as well. The archives tracked all academic results. Near the final exams, students dissatisfied with their abilities often poured their frustration into painting unsettling things.
Oh.
There's a lot of data stored here. Aside from what my father organized for us, let's explore the other areas as well. If possible, keep an eye out for clues regarding Fulwish's life after graduation. She returned to her alma mater frequently, so there must be records of her visits. Dabbling in technology related to the abundance. Where exactly did she acquire it? Perhaps her past holds a clue.
Our favorite doll is here.
Is this?
Oh yes. Could Sparksies really have pulled the same trick again and left you a gift at the school? Tag on the Sparkle Doll. Confiscated from the Spoxy Fan Club's unauthorized late-night gathering. Date of confiscation blank. Confiscated item Sparkle Plushie. Reason for confiscation. 3 second-year students and 5 first-year students formed an unauthorized club called Spoxy Fan Club and held an unsanctioned gathering in the gymnasium late at night. Club members wore bizarre costumes, waved glow sticks, and chanted "Destroy the old model" and "Sparksicle forever," all while surrounding the doll. The continuous noise resulted in a night patrol teacher suffering a sudden seizure and requiring emergency medical attention. Disposal method: stored in the archive room to be returned upon graduation. Seizure. What? They did do a bit more than just, like, chant a few words. If that noise caused a seizure.
Ugh, did they really have to put this here?
Yes. Okay. Well, she still has some crazy fans, who would have thought. A computer that's probably older than you, living out its golden years on this desk. Search Fulwish. Renowned entrepreneur Fulwish visits school recently. Fulwish warmly shakes hands with students. What did they take away from the speech? Here's what these 3 students had to say.
There are so many press releases here.
The earliest is probably direct after.
The school's annual Distinguished Student Register from 1982 to 1984? For 3 consecutive years, first place was always Fulwish.
It doesn't really tell us anything other than what we kind of knew. She has good grades and stuff. Search Herald of Death Incident. No results found for your search. The search page slaps the black text on a white background right in your face.
The IPC has severed all channels of intel with its iron grip. Hardly a surprise.
Search Himiko.
Formal caution regarding a student's non-compliant hairstyle. Disciplinary action concerning a student's involvement in 3 food poisoning cases. Disciplinary notice for a student's involvement in a physical altercation.
So she was a bit of a troublemaker and rebel. Simply magnificent, you read with bated breath, and it takes a good long while before you snap out of it. Right, this isn't exactly the task at hand. No, but it is important. At the very bottom of all the entries regarding Himiko lies a faculty appointment notice from 15 years ago. That new red-haired assistant is the dean's daughter. Her constitution is weak, so she can't handle heavy labor. Remember, don't assign her anything outside of clerical work. So read the note in the file. Let's just stop here for now. That's also a thing about Himiko, why Himiko is kind of important to learn about her. And we're gonna get a Himiko SP, and in that patch we're probably gonna get answers, but she is supposed to have the Weathering Curse. She doesn't. From some of the readables, the Graphia family has tried anything they could think of to fight the Weathering Curse. One of them has won the Phantasmoon games and tried to cure it, and that didn't work. The power of elation does not work, so how the hell did she somehow get rid of it? Again, we're not gonna question that too much now, because it's probably not gonna be answered now, but it is still something like, there are things that Himiko has not told us. The label of this cabinet reads, Alumni Yearbook. Alumni? In which year did Fulwish graduate? You seem to remember you obtained this information somewhere. Recall deeper. Sometimes a little deduction is sufficient to make up for missing memories. It is currently year 1999 of the Planacadian calendar. Herald of Death incident took place 15 years ago. I remember it all along. Year Fulwish graduated is I mean, can we do all of them anyway, just because it would be funny, right? Flip through the alumni yearbook of the class 1982. Your gaze sweeps across the youthful, smiling faces in the photo. It feels surreal to think that these people are now pushing middle age. Regrettably, Fulwish was not among them. 1983. The yearbook's got a pretty wild design. Everyone in the graduation photos dressed like they raided a costume shop, and some genius even brought their illegal imaginated creations for the group shot. The school's culture sure is quite liberal. Regrettably, Fulwish was not among. Okay, I kind of hoped that there would be more funny stuff there, but oh well. 1984. The first page is a somber graduation photo. None of the students in the photo betrayed any hint of a smile. I mean, there's a reason for that. They stood sparsely, like the teeth in an aged person's mouth, separated by absences that could never be filled. That's a description. In the alumni yearbook of the class of 1984, you find the page belonging to Fulwish. Class of 1984, alumni yearbook Fulwish. Personal information. Name Fulwish. Birthday blank. Address number blank. Street Seafold City. Plain Arcadia. Constellation Star Zone. Contact blank. Post-graduation destination. Institute of Cognitive Science. Garden Star of Botanical Study. My interests. Favorite color white. Dream destination the seaside. Favorite animal hallucigenia. Ideal career teacher. Messages from classmates. Graduation day has finally arrived, but so many never made it back. If I hadn't slipped away early that day, could I have done something for them? When I look at the empty seats in our classroom, I often feel guilty for being powerless. Fulwish, did you feel the same? But I've come to terms with it now. The past is the past. Those of us left behind, we have to take care of ourselves. I hear the climate on Garden Star of Botanical Study is very different. Take care of yourself, Fulwish. See ya. Winning first place in the campus Imagenesis competition, ranking at the top for several consecutive semesters, you have always been outstanding, Fulwish. That's why I truly believe you can make it through that nightmare and show all of Plain Arcadia with a smile that we won't be easily defeated by a single tragedy. I've never doubted that. A new chapter in life is about to begin. Facing the lens of life, please keep smiling. Sarah. Message from a teacher. Hearing that you will soon leave Plain Arcadia to pursue cognitive science, I can't help but feel a sense of loss. It's a failure on my part as a teacher that I couldn't inspire you to stay in the Imagenesis industry. But as your teacher, I fully understand your choice. To have helped shape a researcher like you for the Intelligentsia Guild fills me with deep pride. I sincerely wish you the vastest of horizons, Fulwish. May you realize your dreams, and may the sorrows sown in the past blossom into flowers of happiness in the future. Hermione. Message from parents left blank because they... Couldn't you have, like, edited the layout or something for that? That's just... Ow.
Garden Star of Botanical Study. Cognitive Science Research. Miss Dolly mentioned that Fulwish went beyond the sky to study after graduation. Turns out this is where she went. Let's go chat with the others.
Well, did you find anything?
I found these clues. Tell Himiko about the clues you discovered in the alumni catalog.
Garden Star of Botanical Study? It appears to be a greenhouse world located within the Consternation Star Zone. Oh, found it. Its property ownership is registered under a specific school within the Intelligentsia Guild.
Let me guess.
Strange. The name of the school is encrypted.
Huh, I expected to have evolutionary perfection thing. Well, wait, that was disbanded though, wasn't it? Maybe potentially someone doesn't want people to know about us. Maybe it was... No, could still work out.
I've heard conspiracy theories claiming the Herald of Death from 15 years ago was actually someone from the IPC. Given the great lengths the IPC went to in wiping away all traces after the incident, perhaps the rumors are true.
Fulwish was hurt by the Herald of Death. Yet after studying in an institution funded by the IPC, she became a suspect in the new Herald of Death incident.
Is that where Fulwish obtained the technology of the abundance?
You mean she created the happiness surgery after studying on that greenhouse world?
It's certainly possible, but the information is still too vague to make any judgments. I'm more inclined to think that after witnessing the power of the Herald of Death, she resolved to uncover the truth behind it. That's why she went to another world to study after graduation. But is the knowledge she gained in just a few short years enough to create the happiness surgery?
Probably not, but I guess someone helped.
If the power of the abundance used in the happiness surgery stems from the Herald of Death's lingering poison, would the IPC, who have tried to hide this in every way possible, really be unaware of her actions? There are too many things here that an ordinary scholar simply couldn't achieve. Perhaps I should contact her as a fellow alumna and have an open, honest talk.
I mean... Sure, but only when we all go, because this is not gonna end well.
Contact Fulwish as her senior? After all this time, would she even want to see you?
I mean, probably, but not for those reasons.
I don't know.
Yeah, how did you meet her? Like, what did you actually, like... Were you just classmates and that was it? Or was there something more? Were you, like, actually, like, research partners on something or something?
Back then, I had taken a leave of absence from university due to health issues. So I was doing some idle work at my father's school to clear my mind. Fulwish would occasionally run to the library to slack off. She and Belle always appeared together, helping me organize newspaper clippings and library cards, all while chattering on about classmates' crushes and the latest gossip.
That sounds very ordinary.
They didn't treat me like a patient who needed special care, nor did they treat me like the dean's daughter. We often shared snacks brought from home and secretly dug out the school's collection of ancient books and paintings to admire them. Fulwish, she was the model student, always knowing a little more than everyone else. Her questions often went beyond the textbooks, pushing past the boundaries of what someone her age should know. When she looked through those illustrations of Imagine, her eyes would always sparkle. I could feel the passion in her eyes, and an unspeakable sense of loneliness. If she still remembers our old friendship, she will meet me. Fulwish is walking a dangerous path right now, and the deeper someone walks into the abyss, the more they crave the recognition and understanding of old friends. I want to ask her myself. Why has the happiness she pursues become an illusion that can only be maintained by a taboo surgery?
That is, again, kind of the question at hand. But it is also something that, with everything going on, like, she might just take as a wonderful idea to put us in a not-so-great situation. Don't forget, she has an entire, like, TV station. She has a media network. If she can frame us in a bad light, she's going to do it, probably. But yeah, I'll go with you, and hopefully the rest of us come too.
Me too.
Thank you, you two. And thank you for your investigation. Though many questions remain unanswered, at least I now have a clearer picture of her movements after graduation. By the way, before we leave the school, there's one more place I'd like to visit. Before I meet Fulwish, I want to say goodbye to that memory from 15 years ago.
You mean that old school building from 15 years ago?
Well, that's gonna be... Dolly, why are you running around in the hallways? You are a teacher, you should know better. I should have just teleported, shouldn't we? Well... Still... coming to terms with the things that have happened, especially when they were this bad. That is something. I mean, sometimes you have to do it, but it's never easy.
I'm so sorry. I just couldn't finish tidying up the ribbons, and now I've dragged you into staying this late.
Don't worry about it, Belle. It was my turn on duty today anyway.
Himeko? Is this?
The past.
Yes. In this imaginated classroom, the after images of the students from 15 years ago still linger in their original places.
We kind of already knew that, but I also forgot that.
Tomorrow is the school anniversary. I wonder how lively it will be. They've invited parents here. Will your parents be coming?
That does not look like a happy face.
Oh, Fulwish?
Oh, that's Fulwish from her youth.
Yeah, Dad already took time off. By now he's probably out on the streets with Mom, picking out formal wear. If it's my daughter's performance, we have to dress to the nines. That's just like him. He always loves making those kinds of jokes.
Then you'd better put on a good show, huh?
There won't be a show anymore, Belle.
Okay, that's ominous.
Because unexpected guests have arrived.
Oh! Wait, are you here?
Everyone from the Astral Express and Himeko. I didn't expect to meet you here.
It's the same goddamn background music that... This music is creepy because it's too serene, too nice, too just relaxing.
Did you enjoy yourselves at Star Rail Fest? Did you grant those smiling kids their wishes and bring joy to everyone?
Fulwish.
Himeko, you recognized me at just a glance.
Yeah, what are you doing here? Are you reminiscing just like Himiko is?
I am here to mourn that dusk from 15 years ago. Before making any major decisions, I always come here to sit in silence for a while.
Huh. Ryosuke didn't tell us that she is here, so... Is she... like... Did she just walk into the school and just... went here? I guess I shouldn't question it too much.
I thought Himiko was at school like the rest of us that day. When I saw Belle lying in a pool of blood, when I was crushed under the collapsed wall and unable to breathe, the thought crossed my mind. Poor Himiko. If you had met the Herald of Death with that delicate frame of yours. But who would have guessed? You're alive and living quite well. You became the navigator of the Astral Express, roaming freely beyond the sky, just like the three of us used to talk about in our chats. Your dream came true. Congratulations are in order. Himiko, do you know 15 years have passed? And my wounds have mostly healed. Regrettably, there are some scars and emptiness that time can never heal. Look around. Even here, even with these phantoms, their seats are still empty. Belle, Leon, Xianya, Mia, and so many others. 15 years have passed, and I've learned that time isn't a cure. It's a shroud, binding itself around me, layer upon layer. So I made a decision. I'm going to tear it open. I'm going to let everything bloody and unforgettable beneath it see the light of day again. See the light of day? You were a victim of the Herald of Death, only to become the second Herald of Death yourself? You intend to use a power you can't possibly comprehend to win the Phantom Moon games. How are you any different from that monster back then? From the monster that took your parents' lives?
This should potentially sting a little, right?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't compare you to that devil. You still have a chance. Stop this now. Stop? I'm sorry. I don't quite understand what you're saying.
Oops.
I would advise everyone to think twice before making rash accusations.
Just as I thought, she won't admit it. Twitchy trigger fingers. I mean, rash accusations, it's like... We the player know. Especially thanks to trailer and whatnot, but still, even in-game, it's like, it's quite obvious that you have something to do with this. You're not just some innocent bystander who is just accidentally there or something. Like, no. The Daybreak Squadron even mentions you. Like, we have a direct, very clear-cut understanding that you are at least partially responsible. Oh.
As a media professional, let me give you a piece of advice. From now on, when you're in front of a camera lens, watch your expressions and be cautious with your words and actions. At the very least, try not to look so flustered during this public exchange. We live in a world where we are constantly gazed upon and watched by others. This camera crew was originally prepared for my upcoming speech, but meeting you all here, it really adds a wonderful dramatic flair. To the audience watching from your screens, you know my name, and I know that right now, you are watching me. 15 years ago, with the tacit approval of the IPC and the Arcadia Council, the Master of Elation's divine ritual degenerated into a barbaric, bloody game.
Can we take a moment and look at the microphones? How they have weird smiles on them? And how she does not look comfortable at all. This is a very interesting picture.
You and I, the residents of this Arcadia, surrendered a lifetime of dignity, wealth, and time to them. All in exchange for a single full meal. We are surrounded by bizarre entertainment and stimulating gore. We soak all day in shallow, boring programs, achieving nothing. And now, we must live in fear of the unscrupulous atrocities of these supplicants from beyond the sky, forcing smiles as we applaud and cheer for them.
Like, it's stuff like this that she says, 'cause, like, she and the happiness surgery is what really is forcing smiles, but, like, no. She is, of course, trying to use the media to make others look bad, to direct the narrative how she sees fit. Like, this is a very manipulative person. And it is exactly that. It's like, do you not have any, like, any kind of empathy for other people anymore? Again, recreating the Herald of Death, killing, letting other people do that, and not even doing it yourself, but making other people do that. Even though you know, like, how much trauma that could cause. It's just... Yeah, I said it before, like, I think she's far too far gone. Himiko said there's still a chance, but I don't think there is.
Is this the happiness the god promised us? No! Absolutely not! The Master of Elation would never be deceived by miracles, but with pain and blood. What they desire to see are heartfelt smiles. And so, they granted me a revelation. Everyone, on that evening 15 years ago, what saved me was not luck. It was not the supplicants. And it was certainly not the IPC.
That weird, creepy smile behind her. God.
Right here, as the Herald of Death approached, step by step, the one who sent down a miracle was the Master of Elation. They allowed me to escape with my life. And when I was trapped in a small room, consumed by loneliness, they sent me a mask. They revealed my mission to me, to bring happiness back to a plain Arcadia that has lost its smile.
Huh.
I, Fulwish, survivor of the Bloodstained Games, hereby formally announce that I will join the Phantom Moon Games! In this game, I shall win the Eon of Elation's authority. And then,
I will make smiles of happiness bloom on the faces of every single person in plain Arcadia!
Isn't this the funny part, though? Like, the happiness that you want isn't as legitimately, like, as fake as it can be. And she talked about, like, fake happiness. Like, is this the happiness that our God wants? No. And you actually believe that the things you do is any better? Again, too far gone. Like... But why is the question still, right? I mean, why does she think that? Because Aha wouldn't do that, would they? Why is she convinced that it is that? Or is this just a thing that she's saying here? Maybe because of media and just because this is the story she wants to tell?
Himiko, don't frown. Smile. I will bring happiness to you too, just as I will bring it to everyone. I won't manipulate the Phantom Moon games like those high and mighty IPC executives. Nor will I treat the rewards granted by the God of Elation as bargaining chips for profit. We are in plain Arcadia, so we should decide the winner in a plain Arcadian way. I'll give you a stage if that's what you want. I invite you all to a televised debate at Fulwish TV in Seafeld City. The invitation extends to all supplicants.
Debate?
A plain Arcadian way? That's just a way that benefits you. We're not going.
You can refuse, of course, but then, under the gaze of billions of viewers, you must accept your public image as frauds deceiving the world and cowards with guilty consciences. Remember, this isn't just an invitation. It is your only chance to defeat me in front of everyone. Since you believe you represent what is right. The stage is set. Come and perform this final act that will determine the future of the Arcadia with me. Or simply leave. The choice is yours.
Darn it! Are we just going to let Fulwish walk away?
Yes.
We are right in the middle of the cameras she prepared. Remember to be cautious with your words and actions. Let's leave here and return to the Express.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Arcadian Morning Report. We're continuing our exclusive coverage. Just moments ago, we received some shocking news. The head of our station, Lady Fulwish, has officially announced that she will be entering the Phantom Moon Games as a supplicant.
At the same time, Lady Fulwish has announced a blockbuster special! The end of a century TV debate! She is inviting supplicants to the Fulwish TV studio to discuss and debate the topic, what kind of future will the Phantom Moon Games bring to this world?
What a magnificent topic! At a time when supplicants from beyond the sky are brazenly suppressing and insulting our local heroes, finally, a supplicant has appeared who truly cares about and represents the citizens of plain Arcadia.
Too true! Ever since these Phantom Moon Games began, signs of things spiraling out of control have been popping up everywhere! First, the famous streamer Sparksy tried to spread a mimetic virus. Then the nameless of the Astral Express clashed with the Daybreak Squadron, causing severe damage to Lookout Cloud and the Skyline Express line!
With so many accidents happening, you really can't help but wonder, are we seeing a repeat of the Bloodstained games from 15 years ago?
You got that right! Speaking of the Bloodstained games 15 years ago, Miss Fulwish herself was a survivor of that tragedy. She's come such a long way, never once letting her painful past keep her down. A true legend of resilience. Now Miss Fulwish has joined the fray as a supplicant.
peaceful. Yep, not the kind of peace that most people expect, though.
Will she be able to shoulder the wishes of all playing Arcadia and set this game right again after it's spiraled out of control? Let's wait and see.
No, she only cares about her own wish, about how she sees things.
Ugh, so shameless.
Well, she has a TV station and she's going to use it and abuse it.
Reporting news about your own station director on your own TV station? And you still have the gall to pretend you've received some shocking news? Don't you guys talk to each other internally?
I see. Fulwish actively issued a challenge. I ran a search. Seafeld City is a port town neighboring Duo-Mention City. Fulwish TV's predecessor, Seafeld TV, is located there. Looking at it this way, the televised debate is obviously nothing more than a diversion. What Fulwish wants most is for us to walk right into the trap she's prepared.
Yep.
So, what do you think?
I mean, we have to, right? Like, we know, or we are at least very clearly suspecting her of doing potentially something bad at this debate. Not going, number one, means she kind of potentially gets away with whatever that bad thing is. Number two, public image would be very bad, which, again, since we, the Trailblazer, are a supplicant, we should really care about it, because, again, it could potentially influence us. So, like, we have no choice. We have to. We just have to, well, go on stage and show people what the truth really is about.
You're really going to the TV station to fight her?
Debate. It is supposed to be a debate.
I'll go, but not to debate. I'm going to tear off her mask of happiness in front of the entire audience.
Okay. There is a magic card, if I find it. No, I think it's called Arcane Melee. That has a flavor text of debates between wizards are very, very rarely academic. Or something like that. And this feels very clearly like that. This is a quote-unquote debate. And my... like, comparing it to potential, like, gladiators in an arena rings more true, I feel like.
But before we act, I need more help.
Help? We can all help you. Wait. Do you mean...
Yeah, those two. Sunday.
Sparksy.
Again, both.
Ever since Sunday was dragged into the Phantom Moon games by Yao Guang, he hasn't returned for days. However, I haven't heard of him making any public appearances either. Asking him to cooperate as a wildcard right now is a good idea.
But what's the deal with finding Sparksy?
Whether Sparksy counts as our ally is a massive question mark. But right now, there is indeed something we need her help with.
She is as much an ally as Sampo is a friend. Yes, in quotation marks and with a potential question mark. But in the moments that it counts, you can kinda trust that they will help. I guess.
Fulwish said that when loneliness trapped her in that small room, the Master of Elation sent her a mask.
Yeah. I don't fully believe that. But yeah, are you implying Masked Fool? No. For real?
Her claim might just be a glorified way of saying the tavern sent her an invitation.
I mean, maybe.
But that phrasing reveals that she is likely a masked fool. If every fool has stepped into the tavern before, then there must be traces hidden there left by Fulwish as a fool. Just like...
What are we... Like, the fact that it sent her a mask? I mean, that is obviously right now about the supplicant mask, but maybe? I don't know. Sure, but just from this, it feels a bit like a leap to suggest that she has to be a mask fool, but okay.
How we track down the clues about SparksyCon.
Sparksy. Will she stand on our side?
Probably.
Well, this is certainly a condition she wouldn't be able to turn down.
Ooh. Not long before, in the Phantasmoon courtyard.
You just said, as for the brewing storm, whether the turmoil once again is the result of the laughter's mischief. What exactly was that supposed to mean?
Someone else is pulling the strings.
You mean to say the Joy Seeker wants to destroy the very rules they laid down? The game they wove with their own hand?
Come over here. This fox mask is a ritual instrument I once used in dance and music. It accompanied me across vast distances in search of an elixir of immortality, a mark of who I was in life. I've lost count of how long it has been since I last wore it since being enlightened and transplanted here. But here it is, presented upon the altar again, which means...
As the game's referee, you've been pushed onto the field. In this moment, you are now a supplicant.
Which is interesting. I mean, I mostly saw her as an observer. But... I mean, she gave the Trailblazer a mask, so... she definitely has a bit more a hand in how this plays out. But again, with potentially Aha tearing down the rules, having a referee interfere, which, I mean, what is a referee normally to do? To uphold the rules. So this is very interesting. There is something that at least I am missing as to how everything works together. Or there's something that we legitimately just haven't seen yet. But still, this is interesting.
For over a century, I presided over a war game in which supplicants carved out their own territories and vied for supremacy, using the power of the masks.
She literally calls it a war game. Yeah, these games were never safe. There was never anything like just pure happiness about them.
I've also hosted survival games where emanators took the stage to compete, invoking ionic powers to try and slaughter every last opponent in a single day.
Once again, gladiatorial combat.
Whenever the Phantasmoon games are at risk of being suspended or disrupted, I will use the authority granted by the elation and the abundance to measure, judge, and punish any violators. I guess you could call me the security protocol for the Phantasmoon games. But now, someone has gone and designated me as a supplicant. It's utterly unheard of.
But, I mean, you have to put the mask on. And sure, we've seen Yao Guang put the mask on someone else Sunday, but like, most people don't know you really are, like, a thing, right? You're in the courtyard. I mean, Pearl has a freaking painting that gets you to the courtyard in her freaking office. Right? So, like, how did you just accidentally, or without you knowing how did you just become a supplicant without your own kind of choice?
Who else but the laughter could pull off something like this?
I mean, yeah, that is probably the only explanation. Which of course makes this a bigger question as to why. What is Aha's goal? That is probably the impossible question to answer until the end, but still.
Perhaps. Some entity harboring a deep-seated hatred for the laughter.
I mean, no.
Who could it be? Entities like that. I couldn't count them all even if I used my toes.
I mean, someone who, or something who hates Aha, pushing the referee of these games into the games as a participant, what would that accomplish? Actually, now that I think about it, if you're participating, you can't be a referee anymore. You can't... If your attention is put somewhere else, you can't intervene anymore when something else goes wrong. Actually, no. That makes actual sense. There is an actual reason for that. Yao Guang may be onto something.
I warned that jerk ages ago. Take a joke too far, and you're bound to make enemies. See? Instant karma.
Never mind who he is or what he's after. We're here now. So what do you plan on doing? Fortune rests upon misfortune, and misfortune gives rise to fortune. Becoming a supplicant isn't necessarily a bad thing. Wouldn't that allow you to step openly into this chaos and drag the puppet master into the light?
Yes.
You're looking to team up with me? Team up with someone from the abominations of abundance that you Xianzhou people despise?
That's hardly appropriate. You're an ancient sacred tree. It's the furthest thing from an abomination of abundance, no?
Oh, your standards are certainly flexible. The hunt and the abundance. We really make quite the interesting pair. So, where do you plan on starting?
How about we start by freeing my friend in the tree?
What?
I nearly forgot about that. Chip away, little bird. I'll allow it.
General Yao Guang and Miss Fox, I've received some news that might interest you.
A happiness surgery that wipes away suffering. The power of abundance in this world is disgustingly excessive. It seems the most terrifying omen I foresaw may not originate from the Stellaron hunters, nor from plain Arcadia itself. This supplicant, called Fulwish, is also a dangerous variable.
The most dangerous so far. But yeah, looking at the mask again, those could be roots and branches.
If you can, I would ask that you direct your focus toward Seafeld City.
You want to take a trip to Seafeld City? It seems I'll have to use some special measures to shorten the journey.
Oh, This is the part I've been looking forward to the most. I've always been curious where exactly this secret court is located, and what it connects to.
Let me guess, it's on the moon.
Xianzhou lady, let me show you this world's most impressive method of travel. Here we are.
What exactly happened?
Already? Wait. Why are we at this station?
Because we're taking the train?
Because naturally, we're taking the express to get where we're going.
All that buildup, and this is your idea of an impressive method of travel?
I mean, it is probably impressive, just in a different way.
Well, what else? That's why I said you've definitely never seen this before. It's the Bulletworm Express. I bet you've never taken a ride on this.
She's such a dork.
You're the arbitrator of the Phantom Moon games. For crying out loud. Don't you have a cooler way of getting around?
You're a great general of the Xianzhou for crying out loud. Don't you have a cooler way to get around?
I mean, she has, but she can't control it. But honestly, this is gonna be a great dynamic.
Fine. For the first time in my life, I finally know what it feels like to be the fool.
Ding dong! The train bound for Seafeld City is arriving at the station.
Hey, you got any money on you? Spot me a ticket, would ya?
That's the second time.
I mean, shouldn't you and your near perfect little looks into the future, shouldn't they have shown you something about this? Or maybe she just didn't expect it. It was like, why? It wasn't worth looking into, but like, goodness. Ooh. Oh, okay, so are all of the little extra things in here going to get us some other places?
You haven't said a word the whole way, Xianzhou Diviner. Are you mesmerized by the scenery? Or is there something in your divinations weighing on your mind?
Or she's just really questioning why she puts up with this.
After casting divinations 1,000 times, one may learn to keep a still heart. Yet, each foreseen omen of doom still clouds the inner lake with gathering shadows. That is why, before divining, I usually wipe clean my mind's eye to clear away stray thoughts, lest the outcome be disturbed.
Take a word of advice from someone slightly your senior. Maybe it's nothing new to you. If we treat every approaching calamity like a final reckoning, wouldn't an infinite lifespan turn into prolonged suffering?
Enjoy the present. Indeed, yet worldly joys are fleeting as morning dew, while our duties are as immovable as heavy mountains.
Diviners often miss the fun right in front of them because they foresee tomorrow's suffering. But have you ever thought about this? That so-called suffering of tomorrow might just be the poisonous fruit sown by you being terrified today.
There is a bajillion stories about that, isn't it? Bad prophecy, trying to somehow make sure that it doesn't happen, and the things you do to make it not happen are the exact thing that cause it to happen in the first place.
It is precisely because we know the ending that every scene along the way is so precious and unique, isn't it? Look at this harbor before us. When I first set foot here, all these streets, the fishing boats, the people, none of them existed. As far as the eye could see, there was only fire. The seas had been vaporized, leaving only fractured seabeds and ash that blotted out the sun. The demonic legions from beyond still hadn't departed, and the waves that would surge into Dovebrook had, in that moment, not yet arrived. Just on the mountain over there, a painter and I looked out at the iron-red scars on the earth. She told me, that which vanishes is bound to return. She swore to use her brush to preserve everything claimed by the destruction.
Graphia?
It seems she succeeded.
And so, I too shall keep my promise to her, maintaining the course of the Phantasmoon Games until the sands of time slip away. With every descent into this game's cycles, I shall enjoy myself to the fullest. Like sipping tea, be it sweet or bitter, I shall savor the flavor of every instant. To do otherwise would be a disservice to the people and things that have passed.
To savor a fleeting moment against the backdrop of eternity. Naturally, the flavor is profound. A pity, though. Even as a long-life species, my time is brief compared to yours. As a Cienjo native, the karma I carry is far too heavy. I could never learn how to be as carefree as you. Miss Evanescia, what to you is a game to be savored, is a life and death reality for the living beings of plain Arcadia?
Yeah. That's...
Alright then. Next up, I'm entering brooding and edgy serious mode.
Oh gosh. Ugh.
That won't be necessary.
No, it is absolutely necessary for fun moments.
I shall use the Eye of Ishvara to divine the fates of the people in Seafeld City. If they face imminent catastrophe, a red fate slip will be hanging above their heads. The rainbow surveys the heavens, perceiving 1,000 forms. Across the meridians of destiny, the jade abacus reveals its script. The celestial eye opens and shuts as calamity and fortune reveal themselves. Calamity looms overhead. The crimson slip is cast.
And... Huh.
Mr. Sunday will share my insight with you through the spirit bird, Miss Evanescia. Please, bear witness.
I actually expected this to be a very bad, because of what's potentially about to go down. I expected a lot of them to be red, and to have this be a moment of shock, but apparently not.
Is that their fate hanging over their heads?
Precisely. Come on, let's take a closer look.
Let's treasure search. Yeah, I'm gonna do that on my own. Nameless Wispy, Star of Security. Are you here to buy a ticket to observe the humans too? They are the most hilarious creatures. They live in elation, but rather sing to distraction. Maybe the world is too full and not everyone treasures elation. I guess it's more the fact that everyone treasures elation differently. Why is a lot of this so unsettling? Okay, we get to see it above the head of some people.
Odd. Why do these people have wheel slips hanging over their heads.
You also think it's weird. I had a terrifying idea. Very... What determines if it's wheel or woe? Like, how does that actually function? Because if it has something to do with how the person itself may see it, if Fulwish does whatever the hell, and all these people potentially get the happiness surgery, or something like that, then their future is bright and happy, because that's what it is, right? Their future is not bad, nothing happened to them. Yeah, sure, they lost everything that makes them kind of human. They lost all senses. They lost the balance that you need of like good and bad to even appreciate the good. But they are happy now. And from that perspective, nothing bad happened.
Astral Express, boo! Get out of Seafeld City! Astral Express, boo! Get out of Plain Arcadia!
And now once more with feeling.
Oh, good afternoon. Would you two lovely young ladies care to join us in protest for the bright future of Seafeld City?
Who starts a conversation like this, legitimately?
Hey, Pops. You guys are grinning like it's a holiday festival, but your slogans sound so fierce. Doesn't that feel a bit weird?
Oh wait, have these people already undergone the happiness surgery?
We Seafeld folk pride ourselves on our manners. Even when expressing dissatisfaction, we do it with a smile. Now that's real happiness etiquette.
That is creepy.
We won't let anyone ruin this serenity. Come on, ma'am. Wave a flag with us. You'll feel better in no time.
Their emotions are so synchronized. It's like they rehearsed it. This kind of happiness feels like some compulsory routine.
Yes.
Their smiles send shivers down my spine. Hey, wasn't it your director Fulwish who invited the Astral Express crew here to debate? Shooing your guests away like this is hardly polite.
You're from the Astral Express, aren't you?
And the emotion shifts.
Hey, so do I really look that much like a nameless? It's not like I have a boarding pass stuck to my face.
No, but... I mean, pink-haired, March Bunny, even though you're a fox, those ears.
You... What are you so happy about?
I mean, she's a big fan.
Just look at you, dyeing your hair like that at such a young age, instead of doing something decent with yourself. You're no better than that bunny on the Astral Express. Anyone can tell you're not from around here.
Hey, jerk! It's not dyed. And for the record, March Bunny is adorable. Wait, what happened to all those happy smiles on your faces before? How did you flip the switch so fast?
You people from beyond the sky. You just don't understand our happiness. If you keep causing trouble, don't blame us if we get nasty.
Happiness, yes, but also incredibly irritable. Like, these people seem to have, like, an incredibly short fuse.
My apologies. My little sister is young and doesn't know better. We'll be on our way.
Who are you kidding? Sisters? You two aren't even the same species.
And?
Cause any more trouble and I'll call a whole boatload of Plues to toss you both into the sea as fish food.
You talk to us first. We didn't want it. It's not our fault. Okay. Sure, lady. This is... like, yeah, this is the creepy happiness. This is not good happiness. This is the Everyone is too happy for their own good. Oh, what do you want?
Welcome. Come try our happiness soda. One sip, and you'll be as lucky as Director Fulwish all day long.
I would never buy something that is called happiness soda. That sounds like a drug. Like an untested drug that's going to do things to you that you do not want.
Why is it always Fulwish? Doesn't she work in media? What's that got to do with soda?
Oh, you're an outsider. You would know. Director Fulwish is Seafeld City's pride and joy. She grew up just a street over. She's a true daughter of Seafeld. Can you imagine, after that terrible disaster 15 years ago? That child lost her whole family. Just a little kid. Truly heartbreaking. But she did herself proud. She pulled herself through it all, relying on sheer grit and optimism.
Why does your mouth sometimes move and sometimes it doesn't? That's also weird.
Fulwish TV, back then it was still called Seafeld TV, even produced a special documentary about her called A Smile Against Adversity. I can't even tell you how many people were touched by it. And now, despite all her success, she hasn't forgotten to bring happiness to everyone. It's just amazing.
Do you really feel happy right now?
Of course! Just look at how happy I am. It's all thanks to the Research Society of Happy Smiles and Miss Fulwish. She not only supports the local economy, but she's brought with her a positive attitude toward life. We can all be just like her. Forget about all those painful memories from the past and just be happy every single day. Well, if you ask me, only someone who's come from suffering like her can truly want what's best for all of us. She's the one who could deal with all those outsider supplicants running amok and bring glory to our people.
Glory?
Come on, why don't you try some? It's on the house. You simply have to experience the unique taste of happiness that we have here in Seafeld. Guaranteed to make you forget all your troubles.
A wheel slip? This one's a lucky wheel, too.
Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, not when you look at it from a certain direction. Or when you're already anticipating something. But yeah, everyone is happy. What the action? That's a great... Go, little emoji, you can do it.
The sun is shining and the vibes are immaculate. This is Fulwish TV's Happiness on the Street, bringing you real smiles straight from the streets of Seafeld.
What?
You two look like visitors from afar. I take it you're also following Plain Arcadia's grand event, the Phantasmoon Games?
Of course we're following it. It's not every day you see something this lively.
That's great. We've noted many echoing widespread concerns that the Astral Express's intervention is dragging our sacred Phantasmoon Games into a quagmire of competition with outsiders. What are your thoughts on this?
Widespread concerns? Mr. Reporter, I suspect your question already comes neatly packaged with its own answer.
That's probably not something he's going to like.
Judging motives is futile. What we want to be focusing on is the real-life consequences of our actions.
Oh, that's so deep! Many Seafelders feel that rather than any IPC vision of prosperity, it's the healing smiles, healing Arcadias proposed by Lady Fulwish that is the more grounded future we desperately need. What is your take on this?
If the happiness comes at the cost of stripping away the perception of all pain, then it calls into scrutiny just how authentic such a happiness really is.
Yep.
Exactly. By that logic, eating candy until your teeth fall out counts as happiness too, right? I mean, hey, at least it tasted sweet.
That's a very vivid analogy. Finally, a hypothetical question. If you had to choose, do you believe the preservation defined by outsiders or the happiness advocated by Miss Fulwish better represents the future of plain Arcadia?
I just noticed this now. Happiness is capitalized. That's concerning.
The real future has never existed within such a narrow dichotomy. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Thank you both for sharing. Have a wonderful day. All defensive answers, not a single morsel for us. This whole segment is wasted. Go find some citizens who can chuck us a few happiness testimonials to pad out the reel.
Great.
This Fulwish really is something else.
Yeah.
And this is also a wheel.
There's something really not great going on in this otherwise very beautiful place. Like, this seems like a nice town. Or city.
Bid farewell to painful memories and embrace the eternal now. Let the smile of happiness become your only truth.
Who would listen to something like that and be like, oh yes, please, let me do that? It still sounds like a fucking cult. I've said that so many times last time, but like, goodness gracious.
Follow Master Fulwish's path, embrace rebirth, and you and I can both become the happiest people in this Arcadia.
How very strange. No matter how many times I perform the divination, the signs hovering above the passers-by in Seafeld City are all wheels, signifying peace. Is my Eye of Ishvar suffering interference from a supplicant's abilities here? But how is that possible?
I actually think your judgment is looking more and more likely. The pedestrians on the roadside, the fishermen at the port, the shopkeepers on the street, and the ones preaching happiness. From the moment I entered this port city, I felt it. Something stirring gently within them, resonating with the same essence I carry. This entity is far too faint. I can scarcely feel its strength. It was once shattered to nothing, crushed into powder, burned down to ash, nearly extinguished.
Oh.
But it has no concept of death, and so it simply went to sleep. It quietly lurks, waiting for the farmer to scatter it across the fields. Given time, it will inevitably wake up again.
Again, concerning.
I believe most people in this city must have undergone the happiness surgery. Just look at the spectacle the Smile Society's putting on over there.
At the courtyard, you once said, "Fortune rests upon misfortune."
A great calamity for some, but for others, perhaps a turning point leading to ultimate bliss. If there really is something that lets people survive apocalyptic disaster, then a wheel slip hanging above their heads would be only fitting. However, those who survive will no longer be human.
By that time, there won't be any need for a general of the Xianzhou to petition an audience. The gaze of the hunt will be firmly locked on this place.
That's also something I thought about. If everything escalates, and this is actually connected to the abundance, which, I mean, it very much is. Yeah, like, the Xianzhou Alliance is not gonna sit idly by, and maybe even Lan themselves, if it escalates to a certain level will just shoot an arrow here. Which would be very problematic for everyone involved.
Follow me.
What's your plan?
My plan? As the referee of the Phantasmoon Games, former referee, I mean, when faced with a supplicant who blatantly breaks the rules and dispenses blessings on a whim, the only thing I can do is issue an executive ruling.
Take them out of the game, I assume, is what you mean?
So, this so-called ruling, does it involve summoning a bolt of lightning from the sky to just zap Fulwish dead out of nowhere?
It's nothing so violent. For my judgment, I must first retrieve the sacred instrument. Only by using it to measure the supplicant's crimes can we sever her power. It's like a gardener pruning overgrown branches.
Oh.
We're almost there.
Okay. Ooh, this is kind of beautiful. This is a nice idyllic city, which is, I guess, kind of also the problem.
Attention visitors, please keep off the grass and refrain from picking flowers. We ask that you treat public facilities with care. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy your visit. May the laughter keep you smiling.
Sure. And the emojis are happy and play music. Like seriously, this is
Time
just
well spent.
idyllic, and that is fog.
Is this it? You keep this sacred instrument out here in broad daylight? Aren't you worried someone might make it disappear?
It is probably not something anyone can just pick up, right?
Hold your horses. We've still got a ways to go. As for my precious measuring instrument, do you really think I'd just leave it lying around in the middle of nowhere?
With all due respect, there is no path ahead. I get it. It's probably just an optical illusion. Extraordinary beings like you always love pulling that "the path only opens to the destined" trick. What's next? A secret passphrase? Do I find a stone matrix and jump through it? Or maybe, do you sing a little song, wave your hand, and the trees just obediently stand up and split into two neat rows?
I'm no woof woof Dawn. I don't have that kind of skill. A long time ago, I raised a floating island right here for someone to paint. To prevent others from wandering in by mistake, I asked that artist to paint thick fog and woodland here, so passersby wouldn't stray inside. We made a deal. As long as I play my song, the fog will disperse.
She shortly looked directly at us. Interesting. But yay! Two special types of Wishblade that exist in interplanar jump. Waldundun and Pimpinton will be attracted to the Trailblaze Mon and gradually move closer to it, but they possess no offensive capabilities. Additionally, when they spot a help bot, they will immediately shift their attention and move toward the help bot instead. Okay, they don't do anything to you, but you want to direct them so that you can use them
That's
to...
a cute puppy. Looks like it's taken a liking to you.
That is cute.
I'll just borrow this cutie's head for a sec.
Okay, so they don't do anything, we just want them to be there so that we can move forward. And extra stuff. What is this? Okay, only coins. It don't really matter. Elation is a fountain of happiness, but any spring from which fools and actors can also... I really need to figure out how to read them. They're just too fast.
Here we are.
Kaboom, kaboom. More music. And... oh, sure, she has to actually... Didn't expect this instrument to have such a childlike charm. I remember the song score being... Joop, 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 joop.
Let's go.
Orpheus a liar. That's an interesting reference. And down we go. Well, now that we're here. Nameless Wisp, Star of Handsomeness. Painting is among the most difficult things in the world. Few can be honest about what they truly perceive. They get tangled in the antinomies of daydreams, tormented by wishful thinking that simply won't translate to the tip of the brush. That's... some of these are really clearly referencing certain things in games. Some of them are just overall interesting, deep things. If this was like a place where no one's supposed to go, why are you here?
What do you think?
Oh.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Reminds me of the...
Compared to the Yuchue's scenery, I suppose it's more natural.
Would it kill you to pay a compliment?
Yes.
It's somewhat half-moon, crescent moon shaped. Also, like with the surround, this really reminds me of the rainbow bridges in Amphorius. And it's another tree, a crystal tree, or at least crystalline in the inside. Or is that crystal?
What are you laughing at?
My apologies. I didn't mean to mock. I was merely curious. Is this thing really the sacred instrument with which you pass judgment upon supplicants? Is it really just a literal ruler?
Well, a ruler can be a cool thing. I mean, Chinese wuxia stories. It's a magical instrument.
Hey, don't underestimate the spirit branch of true law. When it first appeared in the form of a blade 150 years ago, it could cleave a mountain in half with a single effortless swing.
Miss Evanesia, let's keep such fanciful tales between us, shall we?
Yeah, I guess we should believe her.
Best not go spreading them around. If any of the Cosmicon Collective players find out, we'll never hear the end of their complaints about how mountain-busting power levels are for noobs.
I never expected a high-ranking Xianzhou general to be so well-versed in the gossip here on Plain Arcadia.
Such is the way of a diviner. To enter a place is to observe its local custom.
That is probably just the truth.
Same goes for us arbiters. Times change, and my babies have to change with them. Just picture it. A pretty girl in a school uniform, striding through the streets with a giant sword slung over her shoulder. You're right.
I see you are a law-abiding citizen, Miss Evanesia. Cute. Now then, please, begin your measuring.
weigh and sever this world, and engrave the laws of the cosmos. Spirit branch of true law. By the scale that adjudicates reality and illusion, truth and falsehood. Measure for me all sins beneath the Phantom moon that transgress the law. What is going on?
Okay, we saw that before.
It's telling me Fulwish is not a supplicant.
Huh. What? But that's the thing. That is... Huh. I mean, we knew the Daybreak Squadron were the supplicant, but like... We all expected that she is not it?
If she's not a supplicant, then there's no way to judge whether she's transgressed or not.
What do you mean? If Fulwish isn't a supplicant, why would she openly declare that she's joining the Phantom Moon Games? And that mask, back of the altar, shaped like an 8-legged creature. Just who does it belong to?
She says 8-legged creature, but the subtitle says octomorph. Okay. Interesting, but let's just let it slide. But yeah, who, huh? Who else could then use it? This is not the twist I expected.
Behind that mask, countless supplicants are wearing it. They're spread across all seafood. No, all of Duo mentioned City too.
Vanessa said something about like she feels a tiny bit of something in all of these people, something that was burned, turned to ash and whatnot, so that's something. That has to be the supplicant then, but how and what exactly is it?
Supplicants, they're everywhere. Not in the history of the Phantom Moon Games have I ever seen a situation like this.
General, someone is approaching your position. It's Dan Heng, and...
And? Ooh.
Dan Heng, you've returned. And the one beside you.
Don't go fighting now, we don't have to do that.
Blade. Or perhaps I should call you by your true name. One of the Xianzhou's most wanted criminals, Yingxing. You've delivered yourself into my hands. Good.
General of the Yuchue, your vision remains confined within the laws of the Xianzhou.
I mean, it's already kind of a wonder that you two are not fighting, but can we have this peaceful?
I came here to kill our common enemy.
Our common enemy? You are the Xianzhou's enemy. Ever since you became a Stellaron hunter, you have slain countless emissaries of judgment sent by the Shuling Palace of Law to capture you. You even incited the artisans of the Juming to reforge your blade, entangling them in your crimes. But your most unforgivable crime is daring to break into the Ten Lords Commission restricted area on the Xianzhou Yuchue with your accomplices. You destroyed the Ashen Steelwood, disturbed the slumber of our valiant heroes, and stole the secrets of the dead. What kind of vision drove you to commit the countless crimes of your past? And what common enemy could possibly stand between you and me? By all means, enlighten me.
I mean, the obvious answer is the abundance.
Oh?
Well, I was in seclusion all these years. Well, you've clearly been up to quite a lot. If I'd known you were such a magnet for trouble back when you came to the Juming, begging for a sword, I would have dragged you out of the forge and drafted you into my crew myself. Tied up, if necessary.
And this would be?
Well, long story, probably.
A pleasure to meet you, General Yao Guang. It's truly touching that my friends on the Xianzhou have kept me in their thoughts for all these years. I never change my name, no matter where I roam. I am La Mancha.
You're obviously using a fake name.
The head of the Galaxy Rangers. I didn't expect this trip to come with such a pleasant surprise.
General, I'm afraid old grudges will have to wait. What we need to discuss concerns the survival of this world, and that catastrophic calamity you foresaw in your divination.
I won't deny the crimes you've listed. But I know full well that the Xianzhou cares nothing for the life or death of someone guilty like me. What you truly want is to exact a blood debt from the nemesis who has repeatedly awakened demonic stars, summoned abominations, and could not be slain even after 100 deaths. You wish to subdue the emanator of the abundance, Shu-Hu, once again, and even deny them rebirth for all eternity.
Okay. This is something last time that I actually forgot about. Shu-Hu's death is very questionable, and La Mancha was also involved with that. Last time I just didn't even really talk about that. Mostly because I was like, we're gonna get back to that in a future update anyway, but also because I legitimately didn't know any of the specifics anymore. I kind of didn't remember, but right, that was mentioned, the thing. So the thing and all of these people is obviously Shu-Hu.
And now, General, I have brought this opportunity before you. If you are dead set on condemning me to answer for my crimes, I will submit to your judgment and board the Navis Astridura for the Shuling's Inquisition. But as I said, I did not come here today to play the savior. I came to stop the past from repeating itself, and to prevent our common enemy from having their way. General, if you do not want the fate of the Battle of the Fenghu from 30 years ago to fall at your feet, then you must believe what I am about to say. The happiness surgery, promoted by the Smile Society, utilizes none other than Shu-Hu's cells. Cells acquired from an unknown source.
Which is still the big question that probably will not be answered this time.
You mean everyone who underwent the surgery
have all become supplicants. Once the wish power converges, the will of the flesh will awaken and turn every host into nourishment.
The one wearing the 8-legged mask is not a single person. It is an emanator of the abundance, dismembered and currently parasitizing the bodies of the masses here. Who on Earth could have brought something so terrifying to plain Arcadia?
That is the question. Not just who, but also why. At the same time, in the tavern.
What innocence? We all saw it with our own eyes. You got your supplicant's mask stolen, and were strung up for a beating.
Yeah, you even went out of your way to set up a live stream for yourself. Afraid the whole universe would miss your heroic bearing, huh? A live-streamed public punishment!
What do you mean, stolen? Can a supplicant's affairs really be considered stealing? That's called tactical emotional engagement. A tactic and an art. Don't you get it? Yoo-hoo! If it isn't the Astral Express's famous Lil Raccoon. Did you miss my pranks?
Did you get the invitation for the supplicant debate at Fulwish TV?
My, oh my, talk about bad timing. My stream got banned, and the leader of the haters confiscated my supplicant mask. As for the debate, I'm afraid the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Shouldn't it be the other way around?
But, seeing as you called, you clearly still have a shred of conscience left in you. Are you planning to give me a chance to haggle?
Answer me this question first. Is Fulwish really a masked fool?
The tavern doesn't exactly register every fool's name and address.
But
having watched her stream, I believe she is. As for why, call it a kindred intuition. And just listen to our slogan. Healing smiles. Healing Arcadius. That level of crazy? She's a certified fool. Most masked fools make a huge racket when they approach you. That, hey, look, I'm about to stir up some trouble vibe is impossible to hide. But Fulwish is clearly the exception. Her brand of crazy is calm and sophisticated. Look at that haute couture getup she's wearing. It's worth 10 times a normal person's salary. Who'd have guessed a career woman with state levels of wealth who was always preaching social welfare would be a masked fool? Simply the most exquisite disguise.
I'd like to ask you to look into her background for me.
Now that's going too far. You actually want me to betray another masked fool?
Is that really betrayal?
Give me the intel on Fulwish, and I'll return the mask to you.
Betrayal itself. That's the finest reward of all. Deal. Leave it to me. I'll contact you as soon as I get the intel. Fulwish, is there really someone like that among the masked fools? How come I'd never heard of her? Maybe we should ask Giovanni about her. He's got connections everywhere after all.
Not long after, Sparksicle arrived at Giovanni's location. Now he's still in here. Potentially having to sort through stuff.
Woohoo! Mr. Giovanni! Long time no see.
Miss Sparksy? You just looted Sparkle's entire inventory right from under my nose. How can you say long time no see?
I mean, because you didn't see her, necessarily?
Please spare me. Just give me a straight answer. Whose collection are you planning to steal this time?
Sparkle and I just had the reconciliation of the century. Let bygones be bygones. I'm actually here to ask for some serious advice. I swear, my hands are squeaky clean.
Oh, do tell. Anything that can make you this serious must be fascinating.
I want to ask about someone. Fulwish, the media tycoon who went on TV and invited all the supplicants. Is she really one of us? How come I've never seen her in the tavern?
I know of her, but I've never actually seen her in the tavern. If Fulwish really is a fool, with all the people coming and going, surely she would have been mentioned. As for the storage area logbook, no, there's absolutely no record of her. Either she never stored anything here, or she used a fake name.
We're doomed. Even the well-connected Mr. Giovanni knows nothing about this lady.
Nice try. But goading won't work on me. I do have a theory, though. Hear me out. Every fool sets foot in the tavern at least once in their life. If Fulwish really is a fool, then the moment she entered the tavern must have been in the wake of some unforgettable tragedy.
You mean the blood-stained games from 15 years ago? That's a tragedy which would leave a deep wound on a young girl's mind and soul. I get it. Maybe we should head to the hospital and dig up the girl's medical records.
That's where you find Fulwish's medical report.
Do not believe any information.
It's like literally lying here when you first enter.
Do not believe any information from this broadcast. Thank you.
Okay. So maybe she really is a fool, even though I still think it was a bit of a leap that we just thought that is what she meant, or
Attention, Professor
that is something you can glean from the things she said, but okay. What are you trying to find out? Someone's secret or someone's embarrassing story? I'm sorry, but all that's left here are the scraps of joy from the Arcadia. Okay, that's all great to find in a hospital. Patient name, plain Arcadia. Diagnosis, sadness, tears, fear, and misery. Okay. Strange note is tucked inside the filing cabinet. It reads, for a patient, the defining trait is illness. Without it, they wouldn't be a patient. For a plain Arcadian, the defining trait is happiness.
Fulwish? Fulwish? Found it!
Medical record Fulwish. Name Fulwish, sex female, homeland Plain Arcadia, species humanoid, category Ahatopian subspecies, department cranial neurology department. Chief complaint. After experiencing significant psychological trauma, the patient developed an unknown disorder in the language center. Specific symptoms include the inability to describe negative feedback received by the self and an inability to actively express the pain perceived by the self. Meanwhile, the patient exhibits hallucinatory symptoms described as the ability to sense the inner desires of others. This is, I think, the exact thing. Again, so if I didn't read that on the actual playthrough, now we have it here. Past medical history. The patient is in good health with no relevant medical history or family history of hereditary diseases. Patient previously suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder. Examination report. Electroencephalogram, cerebral lobe structural imaging, and modeling analysis indicate no foreign bodies or visible damage to the patient's brain. Mild, non-pathological tissue growth detected at the synesthesia beacon implant site. Cause remains unknown. Following a localized wish power detection approved by the Department of Aberration Defense, low-frequency, undetectable imagery appeared in the anterior cingulate cortex, but hasn't significantly affected the cranial nerves yet. Its correlation with the patient's condition remains unverified, and the possibility of psychologically induced language disruption can't be ruled out. Testing confirms the patient can accurately describe the desires of others. Simultaneously, as the patient verbalizes these descriptions, the empathetic subject experiences intense hallucination and loses all rationality. The mechanisms behind this remains unclear, though it appears to fall under hypnotic or telepathic phenomena. For now, we'll designate the patient's unusual condition as happiness syntax. Prescription: aberration interference Sustained release tablets type 2. Take 2 tablets daily, 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening, 30 minutes after meals. Dosage will be adjusted based on disease progression and follow-up evaluation. Treatment: schedule a visit to the clinic upon feeling unwell. This is... Yeah, the first time I read it, it was just weird, but now it's like... Simultaneously, as the patient verbalizes these descriptions, the empathetic subject experiences intense hallucination and loses all rationality. That...
Happiness syntax. Now what kind of disease is this? Trying to read this stuff is just torture. I'd better find a doctor. Hello? Hello? Is there a doctor in the house? Calling all doctors!
Well, if it isn't Patient Zero of the Sparksy Con. To think the Department of Aberration Defense still hasn't locked you up. Heaven truly is blind. Because of you, I was planning to skip town and leave Plain Arcadia overnight. I even booked the tickets. It's a good thing she was here. So, what's the emergency this time? What ailment are you going to pretend to have?
Not me this time. It concerns an old case. The patient in these records. Ring a bell?
Wait, you didn't actually buy that I'm a doctor, did you?
I mean, no, but you are kind of working here?
Forget it. This patient you're asking about? I remember them.
So, what kind of fool is Fulwish?
Looking back through the history of this hospital, there are countless characters who've turned this place upside down, but to tear the ceiling off on her very first visit? She's truly one of a kind.
Oh.
What exactly did she do?
Hard to imagine she was still just a 16-year-old back then. And yet, she wanted to smash the fool's mask she'd just received into smithereens.
Can a fool's mask be destroyed?
Of course not. Though you'd know a thing or two about abusing masks, wouldn't you?
Don't be ridiculous. I'd never be stupid enough to try and destroy my own masks. I just had to be heartless enough to abandon them.
That might be worse.
The mask is part of the fool's self. Unless the fool is reduced to ash, how could anything happen to it? There were even some fools nearby rubbernecking who decided to help out. But despite all their efforts, they only managed to make a single crack. And the power that erupted when the mask shattered also left a crack in the hospital wall. Ugh, I spent several days peeling those bungling fools off the walls, and half a month more repainting and restoring the place. Room rewind.
Great, okay, it exploded people.
Whoa! Is this the crack? Dr. Zhongshan, what's inside?
Hard to say. Fools have tried walking in before, and well, they all went mad.
Great.
They went mad?
Yeah. Muttering to themselves, deliriously happy. No one knows what they saw, and I don't want to know. So I sealed the entrance. If you want to go in and take a peek, don't say I didn't warn
you. Dangerous? What could possibly be more dangerous than little old adorable Sparksicle? Listen up, my dear Sparks heads. Sparksicle is about to take you on an exclusive expedition through this mysterious fissure. Smash that subscribe button so you don't get lost. Let's roll!
Is she actually filming this? I mean, I was instantly thinking like, oh, it probably potentially will lead us to the land of sneering gods, the lost scroll, right? But it's just one of these normal, like, doors, weird spatial anomalies we had in the tavern anyway. Huh. Okay, we're just in a different version of the hospital?
Mom! Dad! Everyone's gone! Why? Why am I still alive?
Are you Fulwish?
Who's out there?
Fulwish, there's a delivery for you.
This is... Who's this from? I didn't buy anything. Is this a mask? There's a piece of paper inside too. What does it say? To the survivor, welcome to the world's end. Oh, right, the way you cried on TV was truly hilarious.
How?
Who are you? Why? Why are you doing this to me? What did I do wrong? Answer me! Answer me! I don't get it. All of this. Just what is so funny about all of this?
What the heck? That's the day she received an invitation to the tavern. I really don't know which utter degenerate from the tavern sent her such a cruel joke. Even someone as stone-hearted as me can barely stand to watch.
Yeah, that's not a joke anymore. That's like actually just cruelty.
Wait, these hallucinations. Exactly what part of them is supposed to be happy?
That is a good question. Okay, that's older Fulwish.
How did you get in?
Oh.
Never mind. That's not important. Welcome. Don't be afraid. Relax. You're that streamer who caused a scene at Graphia Academy, right?
Is this just a memory? But it talks to her and knows who she is. Is it somehow the real Fulwish?
Whoa! Even a media mogul like you recognizes me?
The first battle between supplicants made your name known to all. I can hear the desire in your heart, Miss Foxy.
You can hear my desire?
You charged in here seeking answers, didn't you? To mercilessly tear the mask off another masked fool. See what card she's holding. You'll get your wish. Just like you, I obtained my own mask through a twist of fate. But unlike most of you, I don't even want to touch it. So, I'm not like you, with all your miraculous powers. I possess only one trivial little talent. I can hear the happiness you desire most, deep within your hearts.
Happiness. My days are filled with happiness. But what about you? Are you all right? I saw what you've been through. You have my sympathy.
Sympathy, yes. Dr. Zhongshan called it the happiness syntax. She mistook it for some kind of disease. But I say no. This is the blessing of the elation.
Precisely because my past was so agonizing. The Divine allowed me to hear the happiness deep in everyone's hearts as a form of consolation.
That is also very twisted and kind of cruel, if you think about it. Like, if you're in agony, if you have trauma, and then just hear how happy everyone else is, it's like, how is that consolation? Like, look at all these other people that are not miserable. Doesn't help you.
I can smell the pulsating desire within your heart, like sweet honey dripping from a comb. It travels along your nerves, dissolving into a syrupy, sticky sweetness.
No surprise there. After all, I'm just a sweet girl whose sugar content is totally off the charts.
Oh god, that's...
But Miss Connoisseur, merely savoring the scent isn't enough. Are you planning to taste it for yourself?
As you wish. Let us start tasting from the first bite. Recognition. Deep within your heart, you desire everyone's gaze to be filled with adoration. The secret you use to seduce the audience is the very same thing you crave yourself, isn't it?
Correct.
Sparkle or Sparksicle, both just admitting to something like this doesn't feel completely correct.
Next comes victory. The first supplicant battle was merely a minor setback. Without a doubt, once the mask is back in your hands, you will conquer the entire Phantasm Moon games with ease.
That's it! That's exactly how it should be!
The laughter will appear in person to crown you for eternity. They will weep and beg you to become the brand new Eon of Elation. And the end of all this is eternal fulfillment.
It's so quiet.
All that revelry is nothing but hollow noise, meant to fill. Come here, newborn god. Behold this world that belongs to you. It lies at your feet, submissive, humble, within your grasp. Jump down.
What did I skip? All that revelry is nothing but hollow noise, meant to fill the void before reaching this ultimate fulfillment. This is very manipulative.
Throw yourself at it. Embrace it. This paradise will become one with you, leaving no distinction between you.
And I have the feeling that Sparksicle is not... She might just be playing along, but still. Like, what the hell happened to you, Fulwish, that this is what you became?
So this is happiness! Syntax? Interesting. Oh, you're quite the illusionist. making this dream feel so real.
To think you could resist this perfect desire. What a contradictory girl. You make me feel both pity and curiosity.
Perfect! You've got it wrong. No matter how beautiful your illusion is, it can't change its essence. Once happiness is within easy reach, it becomes as bland as a cup of plain water.
That's the point. Happiness without the opposite of it doesn't mean as much.
In our line of work, who hasn't tasted the true zest of life only after long torture? Satisfaction. Listen to me, you phony fool who can't even face your own mask. What we masked fools do best is distill pain into the strongest wine and spin despair into the maddest joke. Thanks for the sugar water. It tastes pretty bland.
Since you refuse the sweet happiness I've offered, I have no choice but to insist you drink the bitter wine of punishment.
How about this, Miss Connoisseur? Why don't you have a taste of my spirits? Welcome to the live stream! Plain Arcadia, Happiness Syntax, Honkai chapter, starts now! Oh, too bad. 0 viewers.
My purpose is to protect.
Oh, we got something new. Magical Girl Troop. Okay, since they have been mentioned here and there, I expected to have them as enemies at some point. I did not expect it here or in this storyline. I also did not expect them to have guitars with saw blades, even though that's kinda cool. Plan Arcadia's security force and idol group, the Magical Girl Troop. In the ancient Benzai Tengoku era, witches used exorcism dances and songs to vanquish the darkness lurking in the world. Times have changed, and these witches have evolved into a profession in modern-day Plan Arcadia that combines spirit exorcism, riot control, counter-terrorism, and entertainment, the Magical Girls. Contrary to their cute appearance, Magical Girls frequently face the most sinister threats in Plan Arcadia, which is why most of them have less than pleasant personalities in private. Great, what do you do? Oh god, they have hearts. Lightning damage. When receiving a killing blow while in the rainy day state, deals successive minor lightning damage to random targets. After each hit, there is a high chance to inflict shock on attacked targets. Okay. When receiving a killing blow while in the sunny day state, increase all allies' crit damage. When entering combat, starts in rainy day, after taking elation damage or after any uses an elation skill, enters sunny day. Delays action, enter. Okay. So, since I'm not pulling elation on this account, we gotta deal with the other side of it. Well, that is what it is.
I'll free you from your disappear among the sea of
That
butterflies.
shouldn't matter too much.
Illusions of the past.
Fight to the death.
Especially not against normal enemies, as we are seeing. How much damage do you do?
I'll end your misery.
Okay, that's not nothing. But still.
Not exactly tough, just overwhelming in sheer volume. Honestly, it's enough to exhaust even a fool. Suffering all this just for a mask? Definitely not a good trade.
Tiny Pete! Why did you break my toy?
Okay.
Oh, not even pretending anymore, huh? I should have known. Fulwish was only ever a puppet placed in the spotlight.
Yeah, that is what she somewhat feels like. But, I mean, she's still the main thing. that's pulling the strings right now, even though it's not necessarily her, probably.
So tell me, puppeteer in the shadows, what are you supposed to be?
Shush.
I know this one. Shush is the name of the robot on the express.
Yeah.
I'm begging you. Leaving another version of yourself to suffer while you hide on the sidelines having a laugh? That's just low. Look at you. Nice going. We've really poked a massive hornet's nest this time. Let's fight our way out together.
Meanwhile, an emergency meeting is taking place on the Express.
And that's the situation. Blade's getting restless because of Shuhu's flesh. I need to stay here and keep him from losing complete control.
Stay safe. Don't worry about us.
Also, great that you're working together. That's kind of cool.
Turns out the happiness promised by the Smiles Society is actually the flesh and blood of an emanator of the abundance. Seems like Fulwish's conspiracy goes far beyond just resurrecting the Herald of Death.
Yeah, and General Yao Guang, is she gonna play nice?
She wants to find a way to cure the patients.
Okay. Sonny, what's the situation on your end?
Mr. Ashvale and I have arrived at the TV tower. They're still setting up the debate venue here, and nothing looks out of the ordinary.
You know each other?
It's a long story. I'll have to explain later. With the help of tuning, I will conceal my identity as a supplicant and cooperate fully with you.
That's weird. She's caused such a huge mess, yet she's still inviting people to this debate? Isn't she afraid of getting exposed in front of everyone?
Well, she has a plan for something, right?
If the public catches wind of this, panic is inevitable. She knows we wouldn't dare risk exposing her in such a situation.
Allow me to add, the IPC has confirmed the scale of the Smile Society. More than 200,000 citizens have undergone the happiness surgery.
That is a lot of people. That is bad.
To extrapolate, the advantage these supporters provide Fulwish is negligible. The probability of your victory is 71%.
Didn't expect it to be that high.
Fulwish is challenging all the supplicants, so her odds of winning were never high to begin with. She must have prepared a defensive position. We need to stay on guard at every instant.
I mean, it's not actually gonna be a debate, right? It's gonna escalate into something else. What is the IPC planning?
I will publicly decline the invitation and prioritize the abundance anomaly. Logic. Plain Arcadia needs a CEO right now, more than it needs a supplicant. If the situation spirals out of control, I will immediately terminate the Phantasmoon Games.
Can you actually do that?
But until then, the PR department will do its utmost to support you and defuse Fulwish's PR offensive.
That should be enough. Thank you.
Danger lurks everywhere right now. I don't think it's wise for all of us to rush to Seafeld City. March and I will stay in Duo-Mention City, just in case something goes wrong.
Oh, right. We gotta watch the Express. It'd be a disaster if someone tried to steal our home. Besides, debates aren't really my thing.
Well, but comedians are way more popular.
Who are you calling a comedian? This girl's got beauty and brawn, too.
Sure. That doesn't change the fact that you are sometimes just a great comedian.
Then let's head out. We'll be in touch.
Come aboard the door.
Let's take it in turns. You rest. I'll stand guard.
Well,
Museum of Possible Pasts. The next stop is Wahaha Grand Theater. The train will depart shortly. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform and keep an eye on your personal belongings. Thank you.
okay. That is not where we're going, though. I think that was enough for now. But already... like, the question still kind of remains, like, what happened to Fulwish? Like, she went to another planet, she went somewhere else, and now she is returned as, again, like, a very different person. And potentially being the puppet of someone else, pulling the strings. But even then, it's just like, still, like, what happened to her? And the big question as to why. I said it now, like, multiple times, like, something feels like it's trying to, like, change these games, and I'm questioning, like, into what, potentially, like, what is the purpose? That is still, like, the biggest question here. But again, that shall be it for now. Till next time, and maybe we're gonna find some answers. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.